Today we will see different data types in C++ and we will discuss built-in data type in detail. So let's get started. So data types in C++. A database data type refers to the format of data storage that can hold a distinct type of variables or range of values. When computer programs store data in variables, each variable must be designated a distinct data type. Data type in a program occupies some space in computer's memory where some value is stored. A value may be stored in integer, character, floating point number, or string, etc. Now the question arises how the memory is allocated to these values and in what range. So the data type determines how much memory is allocated to stored data and what operation can be performed on it, along with the range in which values can be stored in different types. So you can see the data types in C++ that are built-in, derived, and user-defined data types. Integer, floating point, character, boolean are the built-in data types. So like character have 1 byte size, short have 2, int have 4, long has 4, long has 8. So now we will see built-in data types in C++. So there are built-in data types in C++, also called primary, basic, or primitive data types. These data types are built-in or predefined data types and can be used directly by the user to declare variables. Example, int, char, float, bool, etc. Int stands for integer. It can store only integer value. In most compilers, it requires 2 byte storage space in memory. Arithmetic operations and short comparisons are performed efficiently on integer data. Now, char stands for character, most commonly used to store ASCII values, American Standard Code for Information Integer characters, whose integer value lies between -128 to 127. It occupies 1 byte in memory. Example, A, B, dollar symbol, P, etc. These are all characters, a single character. Now bool. Bool stands for boolean. It is a data type whose variables can have only two values, like true or false. 0 denoting false, 1 denoting true. Now float. Float is used for floating point numbers. Whenever a number with decimal such as 3.142 comes is used as a floating point number. Float requires 4 bytes of memory. Now double. If we need to work with large floating point number that require a high degree of accuracy, then we use double. It uses 8 bytes for their storage. Now void. Void refers to the object that does not have any value of any type. It is used to indicate that function does not contain any value to the term. Void is used in function prototype and header to signify that there is no information passed to the function. As I had shown you, void may. So now we will open this folder in code and we will start implementing our program. So we will create a new file. We will name it datatype. So as explained in the variables.cpp program, a variable in C++ must be specified data type. Mean to say that a variable in C++ must be of a specified data type. Now you can see here this program variables.c++. We will copy it here to show you what are data types. Copy and paste it here. Now we have to see these things. So now here you can see int, double, char, string, bool, these are all data types and it is also known as variables. Mean to say that variable is name given to that variable. So now let me show you by outputting something which will show you that which data type it is. So for that we have to include one more header file, that is #include type info, and now we will write our code. We will write cout type id in brackets variable name, that is integer variable name, that is num, and then dot name, then 2 brackets, and then semicolon. Now we will get the output. Let's see the output. So output is I. I stands for integer. So it is telling us that it is integer variable. And now we will see about double variable. We will write about double now. My float num, and now it is showing id. I stands for integer and d for that decimal. Now let me break it. We will write a /n to break the line. Now you can see first line, num is for integer and my float num is for double. D stands for double. Now we will write it for other values. So I will write here my letter for character, and now my text for string, and my boolean for boolean. And now we will play it and see what output comes. So here you can see I, D, C, and after that this garbage type of value, but written as string in C, ST11 char, and after that B for boolean. So these are the outputs that I shown here. So this was a program of data type to explain you some things that what is data type, and now we will see little more description about data type. Let me write that. Like data type, we have int, float, boolean, character. These are the data types, and the variable of that is known as, the name given to the variable is known as the variable of that data type. So now I will write the size of these. So int have 4 byte size. In this compiler it is 4 byte, but in Turbo C++ it has 2 byte. Now float has 4 byte, double has 4 byte, no such. Double has 8 bytes, then boolean has 1 byte, and then character has 1 byte. Now I will write little description about that so that you can clear your doubts, so that if you are facing any doubts, so that can be cleared. So int stores whole number without decimals, and then float stores fractional number containing one or more decimals, and 4 bytes are sufficient for storing. So float data type is sufficient for storing 7 decimal digits. And now double. So double also stores fractional numbers containing one or more decimals that are sufficient for storing 15 decimal digits. And the boolean. So boolean stores true or false value. Because it is 1 byte, so it will store a 1 byte value that is true or false. And now character is also 1 byte value, so it will store a one variable, mean to say that only one character or one single character or letter or number, etc. Or you can say sky values. Sky values we will see in another video to understand what are the sky values, or you can search on Google. So that was all about built-in data types. So in next video we will see some other type of data types.